T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978 bringing you G.I. Joe Sigma 6 Duke. To warn you right now, I have a ton to cover, so I hope you love my voice because I have a lot of things to cover with this toy. This is a chill review that is way long overdue because I showed my collection, my Sigma 6 collection months ago. Link in the description, card right there. And I promised that I was going to start individually reviewing these guys, and now I'm finally here. Since this is the first one I'm going to be reviewing, this will be the longest because I have a lot to cover for the people that don't know anything about these. But anyway, I got this packaging. I didn't even remember that I actually had it. And I got all his loose accessories. And then I sat here before doing this review and I was like, oh, just in awe of it and then I got a little bit depressed because we don't get this value. This toy, and my jaw dropped to the floor when I went to Toys R Us and saw this in stores and found out it was $14.99. My jaw was literally on the floor because all the accessories, these things came with a massive amount of accessories. Only a few characters didn't come with a massive amount, but most of them came with more accessories than you could ever use. And some of the stuff I'd never even took out of the package because it was just too much for $15. And the whole package can get used, and you'll see that. But when you start buying figures like this, this Iron Man comes with a Build-A-Figure piece. Only accessory he comes with is another head. $20 now. This thing right here, not only is it made out of thick, good, heavy plastic, but it even has soft goods, and it's very posable. And a whole bunch of accessories. But before I get into him, let's look at the packaging. Bright artwork, just a lot of details showing you what's actually in there. You get a hard plastic piece at the bottom and a hard plastic piece at the top. It's a packaging in the packaging because you get this outer clear cover with this picture artwork in behind that. This styrofoam right there, cross seal right there, and Duke gets this long extended bio. We do not get anything like that anymore. Maybe on some of the smaller G.I. Joes. And here's the bio for the actual line right there. I was pointing to it behind my camera. But anyway, we'll get to those accessories. But only Marvel Legends figure I have that's close to meeting up with him is this Hulk right here. But then, let's get to a taller Sigma 6 character, Heavy Duty, who dwarfs the Hulk. But anyway, what this line was all about is they were taking the anime look of the cartoon, the soft goods of the original 12-inch G.I. Joe figures, and then the plasticky nature of the 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe figures. And this line, I don't know if I'll ever sell these because these things, every time I take them out of storage, they are just beautiful. Problems I'll have with them up front. This particular figure. Look at him always looking up. You have to bend him like this to have him actually looking at you. I've never liked that. I wish they put his eyes more down. And only thing stopping these things from being the best things in the world is they only have a single jointed elbow, a single jointed knee, and they don't have ankle pivot. If they had those things, oh my God, I'd still be posing and playing with these things to today. But just to show you into the articulation, it also doesn't have a ball hinged neck. It just has one single ball, I believe. Yeah, no, let's see. Let me pop. No, I can't pop his head off. The head is on a ball joint, but there is a hinge on the inside for this particular character. The arms can go out that much, and of course they rotate. And they have rotation at the elbow. The wrists go in and out and swivel. Legs can kick forward all the way, can kick back some, and they can go out to the side all the way. Bend at the knee, they have knee swivel, and they usually all kick back and kick forward, depending on the design of their boots. And that determines how far they can kick forward and back. But man, as you can see, he has this vest, which is nice and puffy. I like the way it looks on the show, but I don't like the way it looks shut. And look at this. These clips even work. I usually always posed him like this with the jacket open. I think that looked a little bit better for me. And he actually has a metal dog tag, just like the original G.I. Joe figures. Under here. And I stored these grenades right there he comes with. Let me show that off. Unarmed, folded up, is armed, but this can actually come all the way out if you wanted to. But I guess he would arm it. It has green lights through the little holes right there. Then I guess he throws it and it blows up some Cobra. Before I take his little jacket off to show you the details, he has this wrist communicator right here, which I guess shows his stats and the stats of his men or something like that. All of them basically have that same picture, plus they have some controls down here and whatnot. But I always thought that was cool. And they have these like clip-on ports. Not every figure used that, and he's not a figure that actually used it. But man, he looks nice. The jacket, if you want, is removable. I don't like taking it off myself, but just to show you guys, it does come off, and this is a nice thick material right there, and it has this little plastic on there to imitate leather or armor. Anyway, you can see that they painted his detail right here. Let me bring the lights in. So he is painted, even though they have him covered up with this jacket, they still didn't cheap out, which is nice. And the paint even goes along the back right there. And like I said, depending on the character, you could use those weapons. I mean, you could put weapons up there and whatnot. He has these guns, which are also detailed and painted. Very detailed. I thought this could pull out. Some of them do have removable clips. This one doesn't. Here's his hand, which also has some blue paint right there. Getting them to hold the guns can sometimes be difficult. I did that fairly easy. But let me get him into a pose. Here he is in a pose, and what I forgot to mention while I was going into posability is he has a boot cut right there, waist swivel, and definitely an ab crunch back that much, and ab crunch forward that much, which I love. I used to always put these guys in pelvic thrust pose with the ab crunch. I love that. But like, my problem with this guy is those eyes. It never looks like he's looking at the opponent. It does look like he's staring at somebody, but I don't know who the hell he's staring at. Anyway, I've gone into all of him. Let's see, what can I do before I open his box up? He does come with this right here, which is a separate sword he can hold. Separate knife he can hold, right? But you can slide this back on here. This slides forward with the magazine, which you can actually put his gun up in here. Close that together and slide that forward. And now he has an even bigger rifle right there, which is Very cool. But let me get his case open so I can show that off. And let me show this off. Like, the way they put these plastic strips on the side, they clip in right here, but they originally had tape, but you can lift this up, and that's what helped me keep this like sealed for all these years. That little tab is hitting. Pull that down and just take that off like that. Before I go into the individual accessories, I want to show this off. If you take that styrofoam from the packaging and set it inside the bottom of the actual packaging case, you could store your weapons in there. Like this is a weapon cache. The missile went into there. It came with a little baggie that had these handles that you can put in here and these little clips right there. What you're supposed to do is wrap this around here. And now, it's going to be easier said than done. Come on. Yeah, now you can close this. And Duke has a weapons cache that he and another figure could possibly like lug around or lug into battle or whatnot. Or in some cases, a lot of the figures were small enough to actually fit inside of there. So you could use it as a casket depending on how your play cycle goes and what you wanted to do. And one thing that I think is very innovative, like I already showed you that you could put that gun into that other gun, but they do that with the other accessories as well. You set this in here, pull this over, and now Duke has a big rocket launcher which has this neon green. I guess that's showing you the power source or whatnot. Neon green was a big theme of this line. Because you lift this up as the sight, pull this down as a secondary handle, and there's that missile. And now, of course, Duke can hold this, line it up with his shoulder. You can't look into that sight. Let me zoom back out. Can't look into that sight. But now, boom, boom, boom. Now I have to remember where the frickin', I don't know where the lever is that lets you shoot. Oh wait, I think it's in the shoulder. Yeah, there. You push this forward and the missile comes out. And that's cool. Besides that, he also had this grappling hook right here, which is attached to this. So, once again, you take the gun, which I guess you might as well call it a Swiss Army gun. Put this in here. And if you want it to fire, you have to pull a rope through. And let's put this in his hand. Now I have his hand on the handle. You push this button, it shoots out the grappling cable. And I guess how this is supposed to work is you attach this cable, or this hook, onto something like a wall. And then you pull it, and then he goes up to there. Or so it mimics him actually scaling a wall, which is cool. So outside of that, I believe I showed every accessory except this, which he wore in like every episode. So he does have this Google Glass. Or I guess it's communication goggles. So I guess that's like some type of communicator right there. And his eyes are covered. But yeah, that always looked dumb to me right there. So I never posed him with that on. On a show it looked better. Because these things are stylized. They tried to make them look more like the original toys instead of going straight with the anime. I guess they figured people wouldn't like them if they looked exactly like the anime. So he looks a lot more like a cross between a toy and the anime instead of just straight up anime. But I love these things, and I definitely like this figure. If I could get anything extra, I already mentioned it. Ankle pivot, definitely. Like maybe thigh swivel, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. If it had those things, this would be one of the best figures ever in the world. But for what they are and what they were, it's still great. I could imagine if Hasbro was to release this right now, instead of $15, it'll probably be no less than $50, which is unfortunate. It is crazy how prices have skyrocketed in 10 years. So I just can't help but feel like Hasbro is probably getting over on us. And I've been collecting so long, and things like this is why I complain about cost, because when you're used to getting all of this, which was amazing even back then, for $15, and now you barely get anything for $20. That is disappointing, and it's almost pointing to signs that maybe I need to quit this hobby. But while I'm still in it, you get to see my wonderful reviews. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. T-Man978 out of here.